Recently, the Federal Housing Administration revamped its rules to make financing to getting an ADU easier. So, Brooks, can you share with us what these rules mean and what it does for people considering an ADU?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because a loan for your home is based upon you living in your home. A loan for a duplex is based upon two people living in a building that's going in there. Those are two easily identifiable loans.
Yeah.
A home with the second living space that generates an income has not been in the radar for being able to loan money, being able to claim that income and doing those kinds of things. So it's made some of that financing limited as to how you can get that.
Until now, though.
Yeah.
Right.
And the Federal Housing Administration just last year in October said, wow, we're seeing that this ADU thing is really taking off across the country. And we don't have a really good program in place to define how can banks loan money and get the appropriate value for your home, plus the value of the ADU and the income that that generates on your home, considered in applying for a loan. And so by revamping those regulations, they've actually increased the opportunity for people to be able to get a loan.
Wow.
If you right now were able to go into the bank and say, hey, I've got an additional $1,100 a month income on top of what you're looking for my W-2, wouldn't you get a better loan? Wouldn't you be able to get more money?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's essentially what they're doing, is they're saying, look, we know that once you put this building in, you're going to generate an income.
Yeah.
Okay. And so they'll take a percentage of what that possibly could make, and they'll apply that to your income for qualifying, which may take you from a maximum of $600,000 to $900,000.
Wow. Really making this possible.
Yeah. Yeah. The second side of that is that it's not only what can you afford, but what is the property worth? Because the bank will only give you money for what the difference between what the property is estimated to be valued in resale on the market and what you would be borrowing.
Okay.
Okay. So if I can get this property to be worth more in the appraiser who gives me the qualification for what that property is worth, which is what the bank can lend on. It can't lend on you saying, hey, I think my property is worth $1 million.
Take my word for it.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
No.
They're going to get an appraiser who is basically licensed to appraise and follows these guidelines to give you. And essentially they do it on comparables. What's going on in the marketplace that's compared? Well, not a lot of people right now have ADUs in there. So the federal government has basically issued new guidelines to help appraisers give a more accurate appraisal of what a home with an ADU is really worth in the marketplace.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Now, those are the only thing that the federal government actually manages is FHA loans and that type of stuff.
Gotcha.
Because they're putting those in place, these will trickle over into conventional financing that banks are using.
Okay.
So you get to understand there's some new opportunities that are now coming about.
Yeah.
And as you're looking for your financing, you need to be talking to your mortgage agent about, hey, I understand that the federal government has basically created new guidelines that allows me to create to declare some of the rent as my income.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that some of your mortgage agents go, what?
Well, and I feel like when you have experts like you guys on our side, it's not something that if they're not familiar, it's not a no. It just means they're not familiar yet. But this is new information that we can bring to them to make this happen.
Right. And so you're going to basically take all of this and see how you can make it work for your financial investment that you're going to work through.
Yeah.
And what we're trying to do is assemble a team of people that can help you basically get the money that you need at the financing that you need in a way to be able to do that, and that it's going to return in the long run.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah. How can someone connect with you and this team of experts to figure out how to make this possible?
This is really a great question. All I got to do is send an email to hello@aduutah.com.
Okay.
Now, ADU Utah is all one word. So hello@aduutah.com. Send us an email with your question and we will follow up and get in touch and figure out how to solve your challenges.
You have one coming.